What happens when you take 1,000,000 tiny dots and arrange them? Well, Paul Reynolds has a way of arranging them in such a manner that it becomes pure art.
Well, I would, in a word, probably a classical artist. I like to think of the style as being somewhat old world. It's sometimes mistakenly called pointillism, but it's really a stippling technique. It's tiny little dots that I repeat and build up patterns, but I lay them down in layers. And so pointillism was where you actually made a contrast between the different colors. So it's a build-up of layers, one after another, but so fine that it really takes someone with some serious magnification to be able to see what I'm doing. But there's something about the process that once it's started, it's almost like you enter a trance. There's the method of placing one dot after another. It's not like tattooing where you have a machine that's just going to produce thousands of dots exactly the same. Each individual dot is important to me. The placement, the distance between one and another dot. So I get into this meditative state where my imagination is just rolling. I go over the day's events and what might be happening tomorrow, but I'm in a different world. There's almost something that becomes Zen-like. I get into this place where nothing else, it's inside my head. It's a silent place. It's not interrupted by any exterior noises, and I like to work at night. I like to watch the sun come up, and just when all the world's asleep, I'm dotting away. I start with a roadmap. I will start with some pencil sketches, and then I will lay down an outline. And that guide is, if you imagine something like a map of the world, I know where I'm crossing a boundary. So because I'm so close to it, I would have to keep looking back and forward just to see where I am. So I start pretty much on the left and move towards the right. And it's really the fusing of the white spaces more than it is the color. It's that distance between the dots. And this is what happens with my layers, is that I'll put two dots down and then another one in between those in a different color. So it builds up. It's almost as if it's growing like moss or mold. So yes, it certainly evolves. I'm a full-time artist, yes. Just really decided that now was the opportunity. And then I decided that this was a chance to really give my dream a go. It's funny how many of us start off with a dream when we're really young and we never pursue it. And given that opportunity, I decided that this was time. Well, what brought me to Louisville was that company that I'd worked for. They were just outside New York in New Jersey, and they moved the company down here because they were from here originally. So I came down to visit to do some work for them, contractual work, and I arrived and I saw the green rolling hills and the trees and the grass and everything, and I thought, this is like Oxfordshire. This is like the little town or the little village I'm from, and so it just felt really comfortable. It was the first time in all the different places that I've lived that I felt this was somewhere to put down some roots, and so I stayed. and this has become home. I think that it's probably impossible to come up with exactly how to price work when you're an artist, because there's so much of yourself in it. It's like, how much is your soul worth? Sometimes I have to get to know the person that's going to end up with the piece, because it's going to be in their home and it's lived in my home and it'll live on after me. Well, recently I was at an art fair and the reactions have been everything from this should be in a museum, or tears. I've had people in tears just because they can understand the dedication that it takes, and I think that it's something that people relate to because they can see the work. They can see how much work it must take and how much time and dedication and patience in order to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. So they react with admiration. They respect the amount of time and work that it takes to put together. I want to be remembered as having found my place, my creation, my work. I hope describes my character. I like to think that I'm just part of a much bigger story, and so I'm just a chapter in that story that I think my work will say that this person who appreciated that which had gone before and that which will come after.